well, it still is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is still the hamana of all basketball players. Okay, but even Michael Jordan idolizes Tiger Woods because that is just a really good golfer. But his vision was to be the best golfer of all time. He didn't take up swimming. You know what I'm saying? Because of his vision, he took up golf at an early age. Bill Gates had the vision to put a PC in every home. He didn't go into the lumber industry. Right? If your vision is to have a PC in every home, I guess you should be involved in the computer business. Simple. It determines your direction. And another thing that vision does for you is you become internally motivated. Nobody has to sit there and, come on, Joe, you got to do this. No. I have a vision. I know when I want to reach it. I know what time. And nobody has to motivate me. How many have visions here? How many want to build large global organizations? Does anybody have to push you in the morning to do this business? Did anybody have to push you to come here this weekend? That's what a vision does for you. Internal motivation. For me, that's the best. Not because, you perform because somebody's there cracking a whip over your head. No, because you want to fulfill your vision. That's the best kind of motivation there is. The next thing that a vision does for you. Having a vision helps you overcome obstacles. When you have a vision for something, then you're willing to go through a little pain, right? Again, when I talk about pain, nobody says, when I talk about large global organizations, whoa! When I talk about pain, no, that's not me. Training for the 400-meter dash is one of the most painful processes in track and field. Okay, simply because the body wasn't designed to sprint 400 meters. Yet Michael Johnson, y'all know who Michael Johnson is, the guy with the gold shoes, trained every day for 10 painful years because he had the vision to win Olympic gold. Not just in one, but two events, the 200 and the 400. I mean, when you, how do you call this, have a vision, you're willing to go through all of this. You're willing to go through a little pain because you understand that it's the process. However, having a vision for something is not something you do in one sitting. You don't sit down and then walk away. Okay? It takes a lot of introspection, soul searching, and courage. You have to have courage to think. Don't wimp out. Don't wimp out. No, I don't think I can reach that. I better not reach that because it's just going to hurt if I don't reach it. Don't be a wimp. It takes courage to dream. Sit down. How high do you want to go? How high do you want to fly with this business? I always tell people in my training and my children, when you establish your visions and your goals, have what I call the 50-50 rule, 50-50% rule. If you have a 100% chance of hitting your goal or likelihood of hitting your goal or your vision, then it's too low. You know what I'm saying? It's too low. I want to be a high jumper someday. Someday I'm going to jump 1 foot. I mean, if you have a 100% chance, then it's too low. If you're going to set a goal, set it high. But don't set it so high that even if you're only 50%, you think you're a failure. You have to give yourself 50% chance of failure, but that 50% is still an achievement above other goals. You see what I'm trying to say? That's a standard I set for myself. If I'm going to set a goal, I'm going to set it high. I give myself the 50-50 rule. But sit down, okay? It takes a lot of time. And one good way to help you see your vision for this business, and for anything else basically, is to sit down and think, what are my compelling reasons for doing this business? What are my compelling reasons? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing Gold Quest? Why am I pursuing the Gold Quest dream? I have to write it down. What is it that I have a burning desire for? Identify it, because I'm telling you, that's gonna determine your work ethic, determine your directions. Compelling reason number one for me, at least with my list. You want to know my compelling reasons? Have you sat down? Because it's really something that you have to go through. Number one, compelling reason number one, I don't want to grow old poor. I want to work hard now while I'm young. Okay, I'm not so young. I'm already 28. Okay. I have nothing against poor people. It's the poverty that I don't like. You know what I mean? I mean, I've been with and I've been without. And frankly, I prefer with. Okay, I don't know about you guys. Compelling reason number two, I don't want to be in debt. I've been in debt once. I don't ever want to be in debt again. And I figure, you know, if you make $1 million a month, you probably won't be in debt. As long as you don't spend $2 million a month. Okay? Which is another seminar in itself, financial management. Okay? Compelling reason number three. Okay? Well, for those of you who don't know me, I'm married, I have 5 kids. My wife is my queen. My wife is my, I know it's old-fashioned, but she's, you know, she's my queen. And a queen doesn't worry about, you know, the bills, the amortization, you know, and oh my gosh, how am I going to put food on the table tonight? No, a queen enjoys the kingdom that her king has built. That's for me, that's... Now, I'm not saying... Now, when I married my wife, I promised her that I would be the best husband that I could be. And part of being a good husband is being a good provider. I'm not saying that money is everything. Okay? I'm not saying that just because you earn well, you're a good husband. No way. But part of it is being a good provider. Okay? I want my wife, you know, to enjoy her queendom, I guess you call it. I mean, do you ever go out with your wife to a restaurant and say, you know, and sit down and you want to have a nice time with your wife and you sit down in a nice restaurant, you open the menu, what do you look at? Nobody looks at the food, right? Everybody looks at the price. I mean, don't you want to sit down with your wife and say, honey, order anything you want? You know what I'm saying? I remember the days I'd sit down with my wife and, oh my gosh. And she's like, so, what do you want, dear? Oh, I'll have the pasta with steak. Why don't you have some coffee instead? Oh, but Joe, I'm hungry. Have 2 coffees. You know that feeling? Or you're walking with your wife in the mall, you know, and she's like, oh, look at this dress, you know, it's so beautiful. And you're like, no, it's out of fashion. And she shows you a pair of shoes and you're like, it's not your style. Now, I don't think, I mean, I laugh about it, but I take it very, very seriously. And I don't think I'm alone in this room. I think all of us are the same way. And I want to give my wife, that's compelling for her. It keeps me awake nights. I want to be able to sit down in a restaurant with my wife, open the menu and say, what do you want, dear? And not have to say anything. Compelling reason for me. Compelling reason number 4. Okay? Bible says leave an inheritance for your children. Okay? And I have 5. Okay? And I want to leave an inheritance. I'd like, you know, each one to have at least, you know, the dwelling place, either a bungalow or a condominium. I don't know. But I'm working really hard. I'd like, you know, to leave them a nest egg of, you know, $1 million each. No, I'm not adopting. Okay, so no need to apply. Hey, are you going to set your visions high or not? Are you going to set your goals high? Do you love your kids or not? I'm just saying, these things keep me awake. It's compelling for me. Compelling reason number 5. I want to own my own home. And not just, you know, something, you know, okay, this is all I can afford. You see what I'm trying to say? I have a burning desire to play golf 6 days a week. But to do that, you have to build a certain base. You see what I'm trying to say? Identify, sit down What am I doing here? What am I doing this weekend? What am I doing in this business? Why am I here? What are my compelling reasons? Am I here just because, wow, everybody else seems to be doing it? No. What are your compelling reasons?